Hello everyone, I'm Dean Hallissey. I'm the digital influencer for DAO, and with me is Lowri, who's my support mentor. And today we're going to talk about what she does and how she does it, and how we work together and all that. So start off with who are you and what do you do at DAO?
That's a good place to start, Deen. As Dean said, my name is Lowri Jenkins. I work for Deen rather than work for DAO. So I am a creative enabler / support mentor. So basically what Deen does at DAO, digital influencer, I'm there to support him however he needs to make that happen. So it might be more of the creative enabling stuff, which I guess covers brainstorming, kind of thinking around ideas when you get, Deen gets tasks from, say, Colin, the founding editor. We might spend lots of time thinking big about, how you want to make something or what the task means. Sometimes we just talk about that. But also some of the kind of more support stuff we also, I guess, do, or I also, some of it is kind of information stuff or admin stuff, access related. Deen and I have worked together for a long time, so I know some sacred information about Deen.
Yeah.
Which helps
only
me.
She knows.
Yeah, which only
doesn't mean you're getting to know.
That's true. Yeah. I know some things about what helps you visualize or absorb information. So I might sort of translate, I guess, stuff that we get. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, isn't it? We do a lot.
Yeah, it's it's just the outside. You don't know what's going on.
How would you describe me? How would you describe what I do to somebody else?
Well, for starters, I don't like the term you saying working for me. I prefer the term sort of working with me, because it sounds like, oh, she does everything I tell her. No, that's not how it works.
That's not what's happening.
No, I don't like that. I hate slavery. I hate it. I like the more easy term where we're like a team,
Yeah, we collaborate.
Yeah, we collaborate, Yeah, so what is a creative enabler?
So, can I be honest? I don't know. I feel like every day it's different, and your role with DAO is part of a bigger program called Transforming Leadership. So the other leaders are working with access all areas, and they have creative enablers too. And so I've had meetings with the other creative enablers, and there's some things we all have in common, and some things are actually all quite different. So I would say that a creative enabler is as individual as the person they are working with. I feel like we're pretty lucky that we have a really good kind of connection.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm a good creative enabler in general, because if I worked with someone else, maybe actually we wouldn't work so well.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's a people-based job, isn't it? And because of how we started the job, so much of it is about the relationship and the trust that you have.
Yeah, I think I prefer the term support mentor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you which, because people they use both. Yeah, I never know which one.
It works better. It actually describes more better what you do in the work, because creative enabler would be giving someone ideas for their project and all that, But with you we work together, we talk about stuff and we plan stuff. And of course, you're not doing all the work for me. I mean, I'm doing bits. You just sort of writing down notes if in case I need, for example, what's that thing? The digital diary, basically. Yeah. Okay, I've got my tasks and my schedules this week, so just maybe write them down. We talk about them, but we write them down. So I've got them in an email, and then we can just, I can look at it, open the calendar, go, got that today, and then.
Yeah. I think the word, I'm so glad that we're talking about this, the term creative enabler, I've always found a bit awkward or a bit ableist, because like saying enabler makes it sound like I'm there to make it possible for you to be creative, and actually that's the complete opposite of.
And to be honest, I've been creative before I had anyone working with me. I mean,
because we talk quite a lot about language, don't we, around like access and the arts. That the reason some places use creative enabler is because they don't want to use the word support, because people also think the word support is like...
Well, it's like trying to use the right language for someone on the LGBTQ community, or the trans community, or gender fluid community. That sometimes people, they don't know, so they want to be educated, and you know what I mean? So I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's like, do it once, you can be forgiven. Do it twice, and do it more times, it becomes a cliche, and it's not cool, and they won't have you back. It's kind of like a quote that John Bon Jovi used.
Do it once, you can be forgiven. Do it enough times, and shame on you. It's really not cool. You're an asshole. Go to work.
I think one of the reasons that we have a good vibe is because Deen is a performer, I'm a performer, so we have lots of there's lots of stuff we already have in common, so it's like you don't have to explain to me what it's like being an actor, because I get it. So and I really hate people coming into shows late, so when I'm performing I'm like watching, I will kind of be like, I see you, but I'm also like that with people, like totally fine if you're late and you let me know you're late, not a problem. But if something happens and I don't, and I'm not expecting it, I get very frustrated. And I think that we know a lot about each other, don't we? About how I think you learn as much about how much I work.
Gotten to know each other. It's like, even been able to tell her things that I wouldn't tell other people, So it's nice to have that person you can just it's almost like kind of like a diary in a way, like this dear diary. No, she's not a diary, she's a person. Let's just establish that, Where people are not to be, see, that's the problem, people are being used, but the objects are being loved. That's the problem. That's the problem in today's society.
And then sometimes people treat people like objects.
Yeah.
And objects like people.
Yeah. You know what I mean? This is what I mean. They're loving objects, but they're using people because I don't know. How did you get from working remotely to us and working in the same space?
So, I mean, this is a great story. Maybe we should tell everybody. So we've been working together. We started working officially on the 1st of April 2020. So a week into the first lockdown.
So it was the 1st of April, April Fools.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? You're starting work on April Fools. It's not real. April Fool. Oh yeah, I'm starting work today. April Fool. No, you're not.
Yeah. So we had, I can't remember, I think I texted you about it because I remembered it's in my diary. So I think I had the interview on the 11th of March 2020. So that's when we met. So we met for half an hour.
Yeah, that's why with my leadership role it started later than everyone else's. Kian, Terry, and Charlene and Zandri, they all started at January or February or something. Me, I started a bit later because I was we were still looking for a support mentor, and then the lockdown happened. I thought, shit, my life is over. But however, we did find a loophole. Me and Colin talked on the phone a few times. I said, is there a way we can do it online? He's like, yeah, and then that's how we did it. That's how we were able to find, when there's a will, there's a way. Me and Colin did that.
I remember, getting the call, being like, okay, we're going to start the job, we're going to do it online. We're all in this situation where we're stuck in our houses. We've not been in this situation before. So you and me, for nearly a year, just worked on Zoom I hadn't worked on Zoom before. I don't think you had. Like, so we were like in this new situation, in a new job, in a new working relationship, and I would say, at least from my perspective, I remember thinking before, like when we started, that I was like, I think the thing that is most important in my job right now, in April 2020, is for you and me to build a strong relationship.
And we did.
And I'm really, like, I was talking to someone about it the other day, like, can I swear? Like, fucking kudos to us, man. Like,
yeah. It's as soon as you came in, like the mindset's like, yes, we were looking for mindsets basically.
That's really
and
good.
That's how we and that's why I made that decision, you know.
Yeah. So where we are now, so to come back to, and you asked me a question, I didn't properly answer it. So where we are now is in my co-working space, which is in Peckham.
Yeah.
Shout out Market, we love you guys. We can do like a little tagline there to advertise them. So Deen and I worked online for like a year, and do you remember, so it was like March, April, so it was like a year after you started that you first came here, and for about 2 weeks before you came in, do you remember like every What's Occurring, which is like our phone calls that we do usually on a Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, what's occurring?
Nothing.
I was like, look, Deen, like let's just be ready for like when we meet in person to be really awkward. You know, like we might go back to square one. It's gonna be like we've been completely different.
Yeah, it's like it's not through camera lenses or screens. It's now in the same room, like now, like so.
But it was completely not like. All I remember is that you were like, all right, and I was like, all right.
Because we can all look like really different. Like what we look like on camera can be slightly different to what we look like in person. Because, you know, camera makes you look...
Adds £10.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So this is... Remember,
so it was like, wow, we're both really skinny.
This is not what I really look like. This is, you know... I mean, basically, what you look like in the mirror is how you actually look.
Right.
The mirror is... You know, the camera can lie sometimes, but the mirror will never lie. You know?
Yeah.
What do you think makes a good creative relationship?
Ooh... I think what makes a good creative relationship is what makes any relationship good, and that is communication. I think honest and like consistent communication. Like we do a lot of stuff it's not repetitive, but we check in with each other a lot. We always sort of come back to how we're feeling, or like it. I actually think that's what makes, and that's when we started online and we didn't kind of work in person, what I think kept us going was like we used to talk every day, didn't we? Had like a set Zoom every day. That communication just builds trust, and I feel like as a creative I need to feel safe to be as like creative as possible. So I would say good honest communication. What would you say?
I'd say the similar, really. Like, you know, good communication and like on the level, you know, like and understanding and say like sharing ideas, you know, like you write some, like for example, I'll write something, you write something, and then it's almost like having it's like a co-writer. Do you know what I mean? Like you know, share it out, like get a second opinion, you know, like so how does this look, or how's that look, you know what I mean? And I'll get like a second opinion, and I'll probably do the same, you know. And we all, you know, like for example, she'd be like, how are you feeling today? Or I'll be like, you look like you haven't had any sleep. And there was one time on Zoom, like she hadn't had any sleep. She was just like, and I was just like, you should get some rest. I could just see your,
I think that's actually,
you're not going to be able to focus. I could just tell by your facial expression. Like even like a 4-year-old would be like, you look tired, you know.
And I think that actually, I feel like maybe actually this is going to be the next question about challenges, but that is the other thing that I've really learned is exactly like you were saying. You were like, I don't feel comfortable thinking of like me working for you. It's like this is a collaboration.
Yeah.
That's actually been a bit of a journey for me to like, yes, my role is to support you and to make sure that things are accessible so you can do your job, but I am also a person. So in order to do that job, I really have to look after myself, and I also have to let you know what I need.
It's like with the workers, it's like, you know, the whole Quakers thing, yeah? I learned that basically...
Didn't think you were going to go to Quakers, but love it, sure.
Basically, my dad was telling me about this, yeah? We learned this at like this sort of like chocolate tour thing that we went to, yeah? And like basically...
I
think, yeah. And basically they would treat their workers like family, you know what I mean? Like, not like just as like a slave or, you know, toss them aside whenever they don't need them and pull them in when they, you know what I mean? You got to like respect your troops and all that, and look after them, and then, you know, it's almost like a band, you know, if you know, treat your band well and make sure they're okay, you know, maybe like pay them or like, you know, keep them happy, or, you know what I mean, anything that's going to take care of them and get them to look after themselves and all that, and the well-being and all that, then, you know what I mean, they're going to do a better job as well, you know, because like, you know, with all this like capitalism and all that, in the world of capitalism, treat each other like socialists, you know, that sort of, I think that's probably the best way of wording it I can do, but
yeah, I agree.
So what advice would you give someone who was doing your job?
Be patient with yourself, I think. I think you probably imagine you've got to be patient when you're getting to know another person, but you've also got to be patient with yourself. Because building relationships are delicate, it takes time.
Yeah.
You know, like we can't build trust in a week. You need that time. Ask for what you need. That's a big one for me in general. And be open, I think. Be, like you're saying, be open to that collaboration, be open to your feelings and needs and the other person's feelings and needs, and we talk about this a little bit, like every now and then we have conversations that are specifically about what we each need to work better together. You call them our like husband and wife, our work wife conversations, like couples therapy. But I think that's actually really accurate, because it's like, well, you know, we're in this partnership. They're conversations about like emotionally or space or whatever. These are the things that I need to feel okay, and like, or, you know, before we were like this, now we're feeling like this. How are we feeling? I would say don't be afraid to have those conversations.
Yeah, I mean, you could say in a way lockdown did one good thing, like we were able to build up our relationship and all that, like not like always like going everywhere at once and all that, but just like started for Zoom, then getting to know each other, and then next thing you know, we felt comfortable, like we started letting us out, then I started coming to the co-working space and got to know everyone here, and now...
Do you want to shout out anyone at the co-working space?
Yeah, Deen.
So we'll put up a little like...
And Simon and Alina and who's the other guy? Ben. Yeah, all you guys.
Mad love for you all. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for, you know, allowing me to, you know, use this space as well, you know.
Yeah.
I felt in a way, because I kind of feel like I'm part of the team in a way, like the group that comes here, you know. Because usually with me, I'm like that nomad who like doesn't always feel part of. He's like just part of groups, but like not part of groups. Like I'm like that touring member, you know, who joins like bands on tour and sessions and all that, but like, you know, isn't a full patch, if you know what I mean. Kind of like the motorcycle clubs. I'm not a full patch member, you know.
You're like the Sons of Anarchy.
I'm kind of like a prospect, basically. I'm basically a prospect. So like half sack, you know. If you've seen Sons of Anarchy, you'll know who I'm talking about.
So.
All right. Yeah. Yo, I gotta head back to TM. Charming PD's grilling everyone who's at the carnival. Jax wants you to follow Hal. Keep tabs on him.
I'll follow him on mine.
this is the perfect time for me to ask my question, which is at the bottom of this. So you are amazing at analogies. So you've just used a lot, and that's one of the great fun things about working with you. What are your favourite analogies that you've used for you and me?
I think the favourite ones was probably like the Merlin and Arthur one where
So
like
who's who? Tell that. I feel like because people might not know who's who.
Basically I'm King Arthur, she's Merlin, because she's Welsh and Merlin's Welsh. So it's and like they, you know, like with Merlin, like he's like the support guy for like, you know, King Arthur, you know, like, well, like a servant, but not a servant, but like, you know what I mean? He's there, they're like friends, you know what I mean? They're like, you know, partners, you know? Like, because Merlin's the wizard and Arthur is the king and all that, so he'll always like, you know, do stuff to protect, like, you know, protect him and like help him out, you know what I mean? But they do look after each other, you know what I mean? They look, you know what I mean? They're there for one another.
Remember it well then, this night, this great victory, so that in the years ahead, you can say, I was there that night with Arthur, the king. For it is the doom of men that they forget.
Merlin, your wisdom has forged this ring. Hereafter, so that we remember our bonds, we shall always come together in a circle to hear and tell of deeds good and brave. I will build a round table where this fellowship shall meet, and a hall about the table, and a castle about the hall, and I will marry, and the land will have an heir to wield Excalibur. Knights of the Round Table.
What else have we had? Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
I feel like that's very obvious who's who.
Yeah, and of course, John Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora, because they were, you know...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Arthur and Merlin is my favourite as well. I like that one.
Alright.
Should we show them this picture before we finish?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell them when we did this?
So yeah, we were going around, see this picture? We were going around the arts building, which is just over the lot, which is just over there somewhere. And there's loads of patterns and colours and, I know, just, it's like, whoa, it's like Toyland Tours or something. You know what I mean? Like a toy factory or something like that, you know, or Willy Wonka's chocolate factory kind of tour, do you know what I mean? And we were taking different angles, like time lapses going up the stairs and images or selfies on walls and through different like doorways. And then we saw this like photo booth and all that. Where a lot of people use it. I've used them before as well, and we thought, why not do something with it? And then got in, and then we took these funny pictures of ourselves.
Yeah, I think they're very that sums up our working relationship.
And Lo keeps it on her desk as a keepsake. So yeah.
Yeah.
And on that note, people,
Peace out.